Hello and welcome to the Digital Literacy Workshop series hosted by We Are Tech. Today, we are going to have an info session where your journey to learning new tech skills starts today. So, in this session, I will be sharing some information about what will be covered in the series, the current state of tech. I'll be reintroducing We Are Tech. I will also be talking about our goals and intention for this series. I'll be providing a roadmap as well as the objectives for each session. Uh, in this in this workshop, you should also look out for the materials that I provided, which is a PDF about the tools and tips for your success in this series. I'll talk a bit more about that PDF at a later time. And you can also click on the button that'll be below this video where you can click on that document as well to learn more about what I'm talking about. We Are Tech. So, We Are Tech. We are a tech education platform that provides resources and support to underserved K 12 youth and their families. And we are devoted to helping you guys learn how to use and build technology. Ultimately, our goal is to equip our community with the resources and information that they need so that they can equitably maximize technology. The world is constantly changing, and a lot of you guys really want to know a lot about tech. So, we're here to help you learn the ins and outs of technology so that you can access all the benefits that come from using tech, being able to build tech, and being able to work in the tech industry. To do this, we provide workshops, we provide downloadable learning guides, project based learning modules, and credentials and rewards programs. Our goal is to really incentivize people to learn tech so that we can, increase the presence of more people like us in the tech industry. Now, the state of tech has changed a lot. We've come a long way and we are more connected than ever with digital technology. We've gone from having dial up. I know many our parents may know about what dial up internet is. Most kids may not know what that is, but we've gone from having to connect our technology into the wall, in order to in order to access the internet, via a phone line, all the way to being able to access the internet through our phones wirelessly. And now we're getting to a point where we're able to transact more directly through the internet. And when you have a foundational knowledge and understanding of how technology connects us, it really, really is empowering because you then can determine where you want to go with the information that you now have. And you also have a greater stake in the technology that everyone uses on a daily basis. So as for this series, our goal really is to meet everyone where they are in their understanding of technology and to provide everyone with a starting point as to where they can, reach the goals that they want to reach, whether it be wanting to build an app, wanting to build a website. We want to meet you where you are in your understanding of tech and provide you with a starting point so that you can then get to where you'd like to go. And we also want to provide that starting point of all the core areas of technology so that you can then decide where you would like, what direction you would like to go in. As for our intention, we would like to enlighten you on what all you can do with tech. There's so much out there, and a lot of us don't really know what is able to be done in order for us to ask the questions for how to do it. So, our intention is to provide exposure to all the different core areas of tech so that you can decide what direction you'd like to go in and then move forward with questions so that you can gain those insights so that you can get those desired outcomes that you're looking for. Now, for this series, this series is curated to expose you guys to the skills that are aligned with the different departments in all tech companies. Every tech company has a business department, a design department, and an engineering department. So we've curated this workshop series in a way where you can gain skills in the business arena, in the tech segment of tech, as well as engineering. In our business segment, We'll keep it fairly light. We're just going to provide a workshop on how to get started with digital literacy. In our design segment, we will dive into three exciting areas of design: graphic design, 3D design, and product design. Design is my favorite part of tech, so I'm excited to host those workshops. And last, our tech engineering segment will focus on three different types of engineering. So, web development, designing websites, web apps; game development. I know a lot of kids are going to be excited to learn about game development; and app development. I know a lot of people use apps every day, so it'd be very, very empowering to be able to learn how to build an app. All these sessions will be recorded, and you must register to receive the recordings. So if you have not registered already for this series, please register so that you can receive the recordings of each of these workshops. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into tech biz. Now the first workshop, it has a basic segment and an advanced segment. Ultimately, the goal here is to introduce you to the core fundamental blocks of digital literacy, and also just highlight some things that you may kind of be familiar with but didn't really know the deeper features of it, such as like Google Suite, Microsoft 365. I know we use these tools every day, but there are cool tips and tricks within it that some of us may not be aware of. Then we'll transition into learning how to take those basic skill sets, but use them in a more automated and advanced manner. That's where that brings us into our advanced segment. So in our advanced segment, we'll be reviewing three platforms that I use actually for We Are Tech: Monday.com, Make.com, and Brevo.com. These three platforms are automation platforms, and there's other alternatives to different platforms like these, but I like to introduce you to these so that you can learn how to use these different platforms, and then you can decide which types of platform that you'd like to use that is similar to it, or stick with that one. So Monday.com is a project management platform. Make.com is a automation and integration platform where you can take different platforms and connect them together. Very similar to Zapier. It's very useful if you like to automate different things, different business practices. And Brevo.com is very similar to MailChimp. It is a customer management platform where you can basically automate emails and different email chains to different groups of people. Now, the advanced segment of this workshop does lean heavily on digital entrepreneurship. So, in the basic segment, we focus on just reintroducing you to some of the tools you may already use. And then we dive deeper in a more niche manner by identifying how those basic tools that you use with digital literacy can be applied and automated for operating and managing projects. Now, the next section of this series is for design. Oh, I'm so excited about design. So, in our second workshop, we'll talk about graphic design. You will learn the ins and outs of making design. And we'll start off with building designs from scratch. We'll be using a platform called Adobe Express, very similar to Canva, but I've chosen this one because I think it's a good onboard to the Adobe Suite products. And the next platform that you'll learn about is Kittl. I've decided to use Kittl because Kittl is an AI powered graphic design tool. Adobe Express does have some AI design features in it as well, but Kittl leans heavily on AI. And I think it's very futuristic for us to learn how to maximize AI. Workshop three, this is going to be a very exciting workshop. Workshop three is about 3D design and animation. I love this skill set. I think this skill set is very powerful, very forward thinking, and you can see 3D design in a lot of things that we look at every day, whether it be a billboard, a TV commercial, visuals that you may see at a concert on the backdrop. 3D is pretty much everywhere. So I'm excited to teach you guys about these different skills. And actually, these two tools that we'll be learning to use are free. 3D design can be very expensive, but there are free tools out there. So the first platform we'll be using is Vectory. Vectory is free up until you use a certain amount of projects. And the second platform we'll be using is Spline. I do believe Spline is free all the time. So we'll be exposed to both of those and we'll be learning some, core design skills with these two platforms so that, you can get started if you're really interested in learning how to be a 3D designer and animator. Workshop 4 focuses on product design. So we'll be learning how to design digital products such as apps, websites. We'll be learning this using Figma. Figma is a highly professional tool that is accessible. It is a free platform, but professionals use it. UX designers, UI designers. And if you don't know what those terms are, you will learn them in the workshop. Professional designers use Figma to design different products. And it'll be exciting to use this tool because you'll get a foundational understanding of not only how to use the tool, but how professionals use it in order to design the products that you use every day. In our last segment of this series will be our engineering skill sets. So in workshop 5, we'll be diving into web development. This one will be a very critical workshop. We'll be learning, I'll expose you guys to the no code solutions for coding, such as, Squarespace. That's like a visual programming web platform. We can even look at Wix. We'll more so look at those versus actually diving into using them. Unless you guys want to learn how to use Squarespace, let me know. I can add it into the follow-up materials. But mainly in this workshop, we'll focus on coding, like full out coding. And to do that, we'll be using VS Code, which is a highly professional, again, another highly professional platform that is free. We'll also be using CodePen. CodePen is a platform that provides you with template code. You can basically research what you're trying to build, and it'll provide you the code for it. So it's a really good way to learn how to code by taking code that already exists and learning how to navigate it. And last, we'll be using W3 Schools, which is a platform that I used as an educator to teach students how to find the information that they're looking for in order to learn how to use the code. All of these links, by the way, that I am sharing, they're provided in the document that is titled Tools and Tips for Siri Success. That is a downloadable or clickable document that is provided beneath this video on this webpage in this info session. Workshop 6 is game development. This is going to be a very exciting workshop. If you want to learn how to build games, if you want to learn how to publish games and monetize them, we will learn how to do that. And actually, let me take a step back. In the web development workshop, I also want to teach you guys how to embed code from ad networks into your web pages, which is a way for you to monetize websites. So I'll talk about that a bit more, but ultimately the whole goal of this series is to introduce you to not only how to use and build tech, but to understand from a practical level how to build businesses out of the tech that you're learning how to build. Now, workshop 6, we'll be using a platform called BuildBox. I love this site. It's very, as soon as you dive in, they give you, well, you have to download it, and they provide you with a template game, your first game that you could build. And it's very explanatory. I think what I'll dive deeper into in these workshops in this workshop is how to navigate the user interface. But for the most part, they do provide you with some good information and exemplars so that you can kind of, tinker with things. So that'll be a fun workshop. And if anything, I think it'll be really cool to see how people take the 3D design workshop and pair it with the game development workshop. You can maybe, design some objects that you want to put into your game from the 3D design workshop. You could make some things and then, put those objects into your game. So we can navigate that. And I'm excited to see, what you guys come up with and, what you bring to the series. Now, workshop 7, it is about app development. We will be using a no-code solution called Adalo. Now, Adalo is a very dynamic platform where you can build apps without code. You can launch those apps onto the Google Play Store, onto the Apple App Store, and it is a paid platform, but you can use it for free. You only pay for it, I believe, when you want to publish your app, or if you would like, more storage. Like you can build full out databases on Adalo. You can use the data that you store on Adalo to basically curate different users' experiences. It's a very, very powerful tool. So I'm excited to go over that platform with you guys and, provide some insight on how to make that app idea that you've been having come to life. Now, before we conclude this session, I want to provide you with some tools and tips for your series success. And this information is in the document that's also provided along with this workshop, with this info session. First, before you come to the session, there are 3 things that I would love for you to be able to do. Create an account for each platform that we use in the workshops. So, in the document that is titled Tools and Tips for Series Success, there is there are links for each platform that we use in each workshop. Please click on each of those links and create an account for each of those platforms. When you do this, it'll make it easier so that when you're in the workshop, you already have your account created. You don't have to worry about onboarding, and you can really maximize your time in the workshop. Second, download the software that's used in the workshop before each session. So I believe the only platform that needs to be downloaded out of all the workshops is BuildBox. Yeah, I believe so. You can download VS Code, but the link that I provided in the document is the browser link. So it's the link that allows you to use VS Code via its website versus having to download it. But if you like to download it, you can as well. But again, download the software we use in the workshops before each session because again, that'll cut down on the amount of time you have to prepare for for what I'll be going over. Because in these workshops, I'll be moving at a fair pace for everyone who needs to, digest the information. But it'll be better for you to be able to maximize the time in the workshop if you download the software prior to attending the workshop. Now, also visit the platforms that are used in the workshop before each session, and please come to each session with questions. Okay, so as participate in this series, it will be very valuable for you to have your questions prepared so that I can answer them during each session. I will also be available after each session via email for any questions that you may have. Ultimately, the goal here is to provide you with insight and support so that you have everything that you need to make your digital dreams come true. So, but please try your best to visit those platforms and have questions prepared so that you can really, really maximize your time through this series. Okay. So that concludes this info session for the digital literacy workshops hosted by We Are Tech and sponsored by the Blues Bay Foundation. I thank you so much for watching this info session. And if you have any questions, you can direct them to me at d@wearetech.education. Also, if you would like to receive these recordings, and if you have not registered already, please register at wearetech.education/workshops. Okay. Again, register at wearetech.education/workshops. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited to see you.